Hello, I am your host, Erica Milbourne, and welcome to Girl, Let's Talk. Today, our topic is very serious, and it's one that affects so many people across the world, not just here in Millville or New Jersey or the United States, but around the world. And we want to call it the big C word because we really don't like to say the whole word, but the word is cancer. And we today are talking about how cancer has grown in the lives of so many people, and instead of being a negative, how we were able to turn it into a positive and a way to help people and children and youth and those bound for school around Cumberland County. So our guest today is Valerie White. Welcome.
Hi.
As well as Makema Edwards Douglas.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me today so we can discuss, well, breast cancer, because it's such an important topic that affects so many households and so many people, as well as talking about how you were able to turn that negative into a positive. So to get started, we're going to dive right in. And Valerie, how about if you tell us a little bit about yourself,
Okay.
as well as what your role is in the Stephanie Brown Scholarship Foundation.
Okay. So hi everyone, my name is Valerie Cross, and I am the president and founder of the Stephanie Brown Memorial Scholarship Foundation. And this effort, this foundation was started after I lost my best friend, my sister, to breast cancer. And there was really just, a group of us that, hung out in church, and we kind of all just fellowship together, with Stephanie. So I called on my girls. Okay. And I said, hey, let's do something, in her memory, in her honor. And they just all willingly jumped in, and we've been doing it since 2010.
So basically it was one of those things where we said, girl, let's talk.
Girl, let's talk.
We need to talk.
Yes.
And that fits just perfectly into Girl, Let's Talk, because you took a moment in time and you called on your girls, which I consider a sisterhood, because that's what you are. You're sisters, whether it's sister biologically, sisters in Christ, or just sisters uniting together.
Absolutely.
You said, I took a sisterhood, and you said, girl, let's talk. We need to talk about this. And I think so many stigmas is around talking about breast cancer and how it affects the household, because we always say it's that person, their immediate family, their husbands, those around them, where in fact breast cancer affected your whole sisterhood. Is that what you would say? It affected your whole sisterhood?
Agreed. And I think a lot of people tend to become afraid of the word cancer, and there's a lot of fear surrounded by the whole concept. But it's becoming more and more commonplace that more and more people are developing cancer. And one thing I know I've learned from this, and especially with my sisters and sisterhood, is your support system is very important. So those layers of, from girlfriends to cousins to sisters at work, or, all your circles are important for improving your health and helping a person get through the process. And this helped us process her loss and then to remember her life in a positive way.
So Makema, you jumped right in, and I appreciate that. How about if you tell us a little bit about yourself and the role you play in the Stephanie Brown Memorial Scholarship Foundation?
I'm an educator, and I love people. So one of my roles within the foundation is to make sure that we make connections and that the community at large knows about what's going on. So I handle a lot of the media stuff, making sure that even tonight that you'll have some of the images that you will share in relation to the events that we have coming up. That's most of my role, but there's always times where we support each other. Like we actually have people in as an audience that are supporting this sisterhood as we, do different things to improve the experience for everyone and get more people involved in the whole scholarship and the foundation.
Right. So, and I know we want to focus on the scholarship, the foundation, and how people can get involved, but I do like to do background on all of my segments. So we want to talk a little bit about Stephanie, about when you heard she had cancer and when you realized that this was going to be a period in her life that would not just be a period of dealing with breast cancer, but an actual period in life for not just her, but for your relationship with her. How did you feel, Valerie, when you actually, got the news and realized that this was going to be a period? And when I say period, a sentence comes to an end when you put a period. So that meant an end in the life of your best friend, the end in the life of your sister, and the end in your relationship, that person you could call on in the midnight hour. How did that affect you?
Mm-hmm.
We can cry around here. Let me tell you.
I am praying for her right now.
We can cry around here because this is called Girl.
Yep.
Let's talk.
Healing.
And trust me, when I lost my sister, it wasn't to cancer, okay? I lost my sister, and I know what it feels like to have that period come at the end of that sentence, okay? So I don't want to put you on the spot, but you know what? People need to realize this is a serious subject, and not just for the patient, not just for the patient's immediate family, but for those connected with that person,
absolutely.
with that life. So if you need to shed a tear, shed a tear. Girl, let's talk. Girl, let's talk. Because we need to keep it real. We need to keep it real. And sometimes people just don't realize how it affects that whole circle.
Oh, yeah.
That whole circle.
Absolutely.
And you were part of that circle. Okay? So if anytime you cannot continue to talk about it, and you need to take a breath, take a pause, we'll take a period.
I appreciate that.
We'll take a period. That's what we'll do. So
I appreciate that.
Go as far as you can.
Okay.
For as hard as you can.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so I do appreciate that. I will say when the journey first started, I was actually with Stephanie when she got diagnosed. She found a lump, went to see her gynecologist, and initially we were like, okay, we're just going to, see what they say, never expecting that they're going to say cancer, right? So went to the doctor with her as support, and the doctor, came out and delivered the news. And honestly, I think Stephanie took it better than I did. I was totally shocked because when you hear of maybe a prognosis or there's the possibility, I think we tend to first think it can't happen. Not to me or not to my loved one. It's just not going to happen. It happens to everybody else, right? But it doesn't hit home. So I remember the day the doctor came out, I should say, and said, unfortunately, you do have cancer. She described the cancer, and this especially is prevalent in African American women. The type of cancer that Stephanie had is a very aggressive form of cancer. So from her diagnosis, I believe it was around September, and she passed away in May. Very aggressive form of breast cancer that she handled tremendously well. So I would say that just encouraging everyone else, and then when you're going through that situation, just knowing that you're not alone, and that news is very hurtful, impactful, devastating. But yeah, I think that this foundation though has helped as a way to kind of deal with it, and like you said at the beginning, just kind of put some positivity behind her diagnosis and the period that followed.
Well, I like the way when you said that it was an aggressive form of cancer that's prevalent in women of color. So oftentimes, we hear the numbers and we hear and we basically think it can't happen to us. We don't get skin cancer. We're African American. We don't lay in the sun.
Exactly.
And then we realize that that's incorrect information. Breast cancer. For so long, I heard, women of other races, the numbers were just high. That's all you would hear. You didn't hear oftentimes when I was growing up, women of color having breast cancer. It just seemed like it wasn't large numbers in the women of color. And it wasn't until I became older and more informed that I realized this happens more than we think in people of color. Whether it's the women with breast cancer, whether it's our men with prostate cancer, that we are going to the doctor in our communities was like, oh no, just drink a little Epsom salt or drink a little bit of salt, gargle with a little vinegar. Seriously, that's what we would do because we used home remedies for any ailment. And we didn't go to the doctors often as we should have and get those periodic checks.
Exactly.
So when you said it's a cancer is prevalent in women of color, I just want to touch on that because so oftentimes in black and brown communities, we tend to think that's not a us issue. That's not a us problem. And it is. It is.
Absolutely.
It really is. So, Makema, same with you. I mean, when you found out, you're a part of the sisterhood, a part of the sister circle, how impactful was that to you when you found out where Stephanie was? And I guess really that the fact that it was an aggressive form and it was one that, because I always think of the treatment. Oh, we're going to treat it. Treat it. I'm just going to lose my hair. We'll get a wig. We'll be fine. But when you found out that it was so much more than that, how did that impact you?
It was devastating. And I will say Stephanie was a trooper the entire time. There were times where I thought I was going to be encouraging her and she would encourage me. There were times where Stephanie was in such a spiritual place. I don't know how to describe it. She was like, not all right with it, but prepared. God knows exactly who can handle what. It felt like that. There are times more often than not that I was more concerned about Val, that I would call, and even if it was we had to be quiet and just have that safe space where we could do that, or I said a prayer, or we stood by each other. And it was just understood, because when you have that connection, that bond, it's almost like I already know and we don't have to talk about it, just your presence is enough. So I will say Stephanie taught me how to pray. If I ever sought God, it was during the time in which she was dealing with the diagnosis and having the treatment and, praying for her and checking on her and bonding with her. Those are memories that will never die for me, that I still hold on, that are examples for me when I deal with someone else that might be going through the process. I remember how important it was to stay spiritually lifted up or encouraged or positive because, number one, it helped go through the process. And, a rainy day doesn't have to be a rainy day. My pastor used to say that it's liquid rain. Liquid sunshine is what he would say. So I know it's important to gauge your emotions, gauge your mindset. And I would say the whole process was like a learning curve for me.
Well, if anything I take from that is a rainy day doesn't have to be a rainy day. It's just liquid sunshine. So with that being said, we're going to take a small break. We'll be right back. Don't go away for Girl, Let's Talk. We'll be right back. Hello, I'm Erica, owner here at Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe. We're located at 230 North High Street in Millville. We offer a wide array of home-cooked meals, from our tasty breakfast entrees, fabulous lunch options, including homemade soups, and of course, our delicious dessert. Celebrating someone special in your life? Let us create a beautiful cake for your next celebration. We're open Thursday through Monday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 856-765-3282 or visit us online at everythingclassy.com. Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe, where the main ingredient is love.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
Complete Care Health Network has some big news to share with you.
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day,
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Brixton and High Street in Millville.
We're here with convenient, high-quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here just a call or an email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network, ready when you are.
Welcome back to Girl, Let's Talk, and I'm your host, Erica Milbourne. So today's topic is very, very serious. And when I say very, I mean 1,000 times. We're talking about breast cancer. Breast cancer and no, you know what I found? It doesn't just affect women. There are men that are struggling with breast cancer as well. So you cannot think that it only happens to women. It only happens to women of color. It only happens to women that are Caucasian or women in Asia, women in America. It happens all around the globe daily. People are getting diagnosed with cancer, whether it's breast cancer, prostate cancer, some type of cancer. So today, my guest is Valerie Cross and Makema Edwards Douglas. And we're going to cut that short, Makema Douglas. We're going to have to take some words out of there. And today we're talking about a dear friend, one of their sisters that was taken from their circle, Stephanie Brown. And Stephanie Brown has, due to her diagnosis and her unfortunate, death to breast cancer, they were able to start a foundation, the Stephanie Brown Memorial Scholarship Foundation. And that's basically why we're here today, to tell you about the foundation and the scholarship you're eligible for. However, we do want to talk a little bit more about who was Stephanie. When you hear the name Stephanie Brown, you say, oh, Stephanie Brown. You might know a Stephanie Brown because so many names are so prevalent. I've actually ran into somebody named Stephanie Brown. But to truly know who Stephanie Brown was, her sisters would know. Her sister circle, her friends, her family. So who was Stephanie Brown? Like, if you had to say one thing about Stephanie Brown, whether it's the way she smiled and lit up a room, what would you say who Stephanie Brown was? And either one you can start. Who was Stephanie Brown?
I would say, I don't know, the first word that came to my mind was smooth, because she was calm. She could be funny. Sometimes you didn't know what you were going to get, but it was always something that was appropriate or fun for the moment. So she was sweet.
Sweet. So we're going to use Stephanie, sweet Stephanie. How about that? Sweet
smooth,
Stephanie.
sweet
And smooth Stephanie. And Valerie, who was Stephanie? Who was Stephanie to you?
To me, again, I would say in every respect, Stephanie was loyal. She was a confidant to all. Okay. Like, not just the way her and I met was at church, and we literally started out of not a disagreement, but kind of like, I'm a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan. Go Birds. And
no comment.
At the time, she was Washington, now called Washington Commanders.
Commanders.
And we just started kind of like just, going back and forth like that. And that's how the friendship started. But I tell you, from the very beginning, I would just say she was just a confidant, loyal, not just to me, but to everybody she met. So that's what I would describe her with one word.
I remember one day, this is way before the diagnosis or anything, I had decided to go to the movies by myself. And I that's never the joyful thing to do. However, this one day I was like, I'm going to go to the movies. And I go into the movies, and there's Stephanie at the movies by herself. So we end up sitting side by side watching. I can't even begin to tell you what movie it was, but it was a movie I really wanted to see. And I'm the kind of person where I'm not going to let anybody keep me from doing what I need to do or want to do. Like, you know what? You don't want to go? Fine, bye. So when I went in to see the movie, Stephanie was actually in the movie too. And we actually sat together and watched the movie. And I'll never forget that, because that was, to me, to just go, like, it's like going to dinner by yourself. It's kind of hard. It's kind of like a task. Right. So I went to the movies, and Stephanie was there by herself, and it made everything okay. And we just, we weren't, no conversation really, no nothing. It was just, we watched the movie side by side. We ended up watching the movie. So I guess she is a calm in the middle of a storm, because I was not in a storm, but I just, it's out of familiar territory when you're used to going with people and you go by yourself. So yeah. And I know Stephanie was a wife, a mother, and
a sister, a daughter, a pastor's wife.
Okay. So
she worked in the school system.
She did. A grandmom. She grandmother
definitely
as well.
Loved her grandkids. Right. Multiple roles.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That she played. She used to, I just want to say this real quick. She used to always...
Don't rush. Take your time. There's no rushing here.
She used to always mess with me. Anybody that knows me, including you, because we grew up together too. I was never the one that wanted to have kids, right? And
I'm
she
waiting
would,
for number 2. 'Cause you're still young enough.
You're gonna be waiting. You're gonna be waiting. Girl, let's talk. Let's
Girl,
talk
let's
about
talk
that.
about
We
it.
ain't talking.
You are young enough
No.
to throw baby number 2, and you got a babysitter. She's old enough to baby. See?
Uh-oh.
Yes, but go ahead. What was Stephanie say?
So Stephanie would always, she would literally like beg me, like, Val, just have one. Just have one. You know, I want to be a godmother. And I would be like, girl, ain't happening. And I will tell you, she, when Stephanie passed, she passed in May. I got pregnant in September.
Okay.
And my daughter was born May 13th. She passed away May 28th of the previous year.
Okay.
So when I got pregnant, I knew that I was going to have a little girl. I was like, there's no way, because Stephanie went to heaven and said,
Send her.
God, give her. You told me, give her a little girl so she can go out shopping and do all those things that we used to do together, so that she can still continue to do that.
So I needed Stephanie to be my child's godmother, because I wanted the little girl so bad for both of my pregnancies, and you know, there was no one sending that down to me. They sent me boys, but you know what they sent me? They sent me the greatest gift, because Lord knows I'm appreciative, and I will not go back for 3. So we are thankful.
Why not?
Well, I just physically can't
Oh,
at this point.
okay.
And even if I could,
No, I said,
girl,
three strikes,
let's
I'm out.
talk about it.
Three
Girl,
strikes,
let's
I'm out.
talk.
All boys.
No, God knows what He's doing, and He don't put no more on you than you can bear. And He knew I could only bear 2, so that was enough. But that's good. That's a blessing. And then born in the same month that she passed, May. You know, and I look at that because I was born in April. And both my parents passed in April. And I said, you know what? There's times where, when I first had, I looked and said, why would you do that to my month? That's my month. And then I finally realized that, you know what? That was a month of blessing. And God saw fit to share my month with my parents' new beginnings. You know, that's how I had to look at it. So when April comes, I'm not sad. There's no sorrow. I'm very joyful. You know, and people might say, oh, you're talking about death. There's joy in death. There's blessings in death. And out of Stephanie's death, you have developed, and you're the founders of, what is it that you're the founder? What are we here for today? You're the founders of what?
So we're the founders of the Stephanie Brown Memorial Scholarship.
Which is, our audience can clap now. We just keep a couple of claps in the pocket. Thank you. So what is the scholarship? Tell us first the basis of the scholarship, or you know, how people can get involved in the scholarship and the basis of it. So that way we can then build on there, and how people can maybe apply for the scholarship at some point.
Okay, well,
either one, start.
Stephanie attended Cumberland County College, which is now Rowan of South Jersey.
Well, when it was Cumberland, I got my associates, so we're going to work with Cumberland. Got my associates there.
And so we originally made the scholarship available to students that had intentions of attending that college. And it's for students that are, is it 24 or younger? We really don't push the age, I think, as much as we push the idea of you continuing your education in college. We just ended with a deadline, which I believe is today, for scholarship applicants. But I'll say this, I think I can say this, you have to midnight to put one in. You can go to our website, which is the Stephanie Brown scholarshipfoundation.com. You can go onto the website, you can download the application. If you get it in before midnight tonight, it will still count, because today is May the 31st of 2023. And the scholarship is normally awarded after we do our luncheon, right? The luncheon, we actually announce who actually receives a scholarship, and we include the recipient there at our huge celebration and fundraiser. What else did I forget?
I think you.
What has some of the amount? What is the amount? Or is it one scholarship that you're awarded, or are you able to break it down into several? What is the amount in past that you have given out in scholarship money?
So typically, we try to do about 1,200, but we have done multiple.
Yes, we've given out at least
scholarships in a year. I think the COVID year, we actually, during COVID, we were blessed to be able to actually continue to give out the scholarship, and we actually gave out two scholarships that year. Just through our fundraising efforts, we have a huge following, great support. Like I stated earlier, we've been doing this since 2010. So, and again, I feel like a lot of foundations, they grow, then they fizzle out.
Right.
We've been going strong, and it's just been, growing. So we've been able to do the $1,200, and that's where we are. That's the amount that we set as an organization. We might increase it. It just depends. But that's what we kind of do right now.
Okay. So, and that $1,200 is for one student, or do you break that into like
it's
a couple?
For one.
Okay.
It's for one student.
But that definitely gets some books.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I know the bill.
Absolutely.
Yes, I know
Me
the bill,
too.
and I need them to go ahead right now. And this is a message I can speak right into the camera. We need to sign some bills. Get rid of some student loan debt. How about that? I know this isn't about that, but since we're there, let's talk about it.
Take advantage of the opportunity.
So that's $1,200. The deadline is today. 12 midnight. So if you're, you know what, take some of your essays or something from another scholarship you applied for. Hurry up, plug it in, copy, paste.
Absolutely.
It's yours. It's your original. So it's not like you're, stealing somebody's any information. And go ahead and apply. Get that $1,200. It'll buy some books. It'll pay for a class. It'll do something.
Absolutely. And you can also apply at Rowan College of South Jersey. You can actually go to their website.
Okay.
And our scholarship is on their website, and you can apply with them, directly with them as well.
And you were saying that they're that you have an age, 24 years old and younger, or is it that just like is that something that you've started, that you've changed, or have we moved it up? Because there's a lot of older people that have decided to go back to school and revisit getting their education.
Yeah. So I actually think that we did increase the age to 26.
26. Oh my goodness. I'm thinking about going back and getting my master's, which I don't.
I know you're 25 right now, so you still have.
I am 25.
Yeah, I know.
I am. We talk, girl. Let's talk. I am 25 in a way.
In a way.
I probably got a dress 25 years old, pair of shoes, something 25. But and please, we laugh because you have to laugh. It's called laughing to keep from crying. Agreed. Because you know what? When your loved ones pass, when your loved ones experience such devastation as the big C word, and I hate calling it the big C word. I want to call it the little C. Because you know what? We want to crush that. We want it to stop taking so much joy from families and from people's lives and from sisterhoods and from relationships. So when you're facing the little C, you need to be able to laugh. You need to be able to find joy. And you know what? The loved ones that have gone on from cancer, they want you to continue. They want you to.
Absolutely.
This foundation, I look at this and I think it's great. I got to be honest. I haven't had a chance to attend. It's like every time you have it, I'm somewhere doing something, this, there, and the other. I have made it a purpose. My cousin Terry keeps saying, "Girl, you coming? What you going to do? What you going to do?" Girl, I don't know. You were doing handbag bingo at one point.
Yeah, we've done that.
So what have you done? Like some of the events you've had to lead up to this current.
So we've done Zumba-thons. Actually, the first year, I was going to say, the first year we did a walk-a-thon.
Okay.
Done Zumba-thons. We've done fundraisers at like Applebee's. We've done stuff with
Relay for
Christmas
Life.
with Santa.
Christmas with Santa we did. And Storybook Time.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, like you said, the handbag bingo. Most recently, we are starting to do the Price is Right live.
Price is Right. Come on down.
Don't want to miss it this year.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be doing this year, July 8th at the Grove.
All right, so that's going to be, luncheon is going to be Saturday, July the 8th. It's going to be at the Grove at Centerton. Doors open at 10:30 and the event starts at 11. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, we do have the flyers up right now. So the fundraiser luncheon, Live Pink. And it's, like I said, at the Grove at Centerton, Saturday, July the 8th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. They're going to have basket raffles, 50-50, door prizes. You'll get to meet these lovely young ladies that are up here with me. You'll also have a chance to come on down. And the Price is Right. So this is their knockoff. Keep it in mind. This is their version of the Price is Right. We're not, taking any copyrights.
You see those stands?
Those, are they real? You have those?
Actually,
really?
Our stands.
Oh, my goodness.
The big wheel that you saw, all of that. So
nice. Big wheel, okay.
Don't want to miss it.
Don't want to miss it. We need that to stop on 100.
And it's not just women. Bring your husband, your
Co-ed.
friends, your grandson, your nephew. We do have an age limit, which is we're asking them to be at least 18 years of age or older. However, it's not just limited to women. We want you to bring your entire family.
Wow. So you have really gotten creative with this. And as far as raising funds to be able to give this scholarship, that is awesome. I think it's great. So you don't want to miss it. We have more to come. So don't go away. Stay tuned for more of Girl Let's Talk. We're going to go to these commercials.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Hello, I'm Erica, owner here at Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe. We're located at 230 North High Street in Millville. We offer a wide array of home-cooked meals, from our tasty breakfast entrees, fabulous lunch options, including homemade soups, and of course, our delicious dessert. Celebrating someone special in your life? Let us create a beautiful cake for your next celebration. We're open Thursday through Monday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 856-765-3282 or visit us online at everythingclassy.com. Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe, where the main ingredient is love.
Imagine living without pain. For over 35 years, Doctors Beebe and Doyle have helped thousands of people find relief from all types of pain. Millville Chiropractic Center has 4 doctors on staff specializing in hands-on or light-touch, drug-free pain relief methods. The examination, x-rays, therapies, and adjustments are all performed at one location. Schedule a consultation today. Enjoy life without pain and discomfort. Millville Chiropractic Center, the area's #1 pain relief center.
I'm Brian Lankin, 3rd generation business owner, Al Shoes. Been at the same location since 1961, our 61st year. We specialize in work boots, work shoes, orthopedic shoes, baby walking shoes, and school shoes. We go up to a men's 17 and a woman's 13. It's $5 off, $25, and $10 off $100 if you mention that you've seen this.
Welcome back to Girl Let's Talk. I'm your host, Erica Milbourne, and tonight we're talking about scholarships, sisterhood, love, life, and of course, breast cancer, and how you can get involved and how you can, really help grow what a group of sisters have started. A group of sisters lost one of theirs to breast cancer. So what they did was, how many years ago was this?
2010.
In 2010, Valerie Cross, Makema Edwards Douglas, and a few other women got together and they said, girl, let's talk. We need to come up with something, a scholarship, a program, something, one, for awareness, and 2, to keep the memory alive of one of their own, Stephanie Brown. So they have the Stephanie Brown Memorial Scholarship Foundation, which they provide scholarships to youth 26 years and younger. And they do have some requirements, though. So, we were saying I'm 26, I'm 25, and I was eligible. Unfortunately, I'm not. But some of the requirements are you must have a 2.5 GPA. That is the minimum. So we want you to have higher than that, because we want to make sure you're getting the best education you can get. But 2.5 GPA, you have to be community involvement, as well as 1 extracurricular activity. So if you're in any of those areas, unfortunately the deadline is tonight, 12 midnight. If you visit the website, and I'm sorry, your website again?
Is Stephanie Brown Scholarshipfoundation.com.
Okay, so that's Stephanie Brown Scholarshipfoundation.com. If you visit the website, if you can get there before 12 midnight tonight and you're 26 years and younger and you're looking for a scholarship, this year, is it the same amount every year or could it vary?
It can vary.
Is that like our minimum,
Like I was gonna
$1,200?
say, yes, this is what we will go with at a minimum is the $1,200.
So the scholarship minimum is $1,200. It could be more. So you don't want to miss an opportunity to, get this scholarship. Like I said, it's a 2.5 GPA. You need to be involved in community involvement, and you need to have at least one extracurricular activity to be eligible. And I hope that you'll apply. And if you don't apply this year, then do keep in mind it is God is blessing, where this scholarship has been going since 2010.
Yes.
Since 2010. So it's possible that you can get it next year. Tell a friend, tell a family member, tell someone under the age of 26 and younger that is seeking higher education. So with that being said, I just want to ask you, what kind of help do you need? How can we get people involved? Because people want to, they like going to walks, they like getting involved in Zumbathons, and they like the Price is Right. But what other ways can people get involved to help grow your foundation?
There are so many ways that you can get involved all year round. Number one, you can attend our activities, our events, the things that we have. You can go online and you can make a donation. The number will appear again. You can actually call that number and find out how you can volunteer. In the past, we have had sororities participate. We even have a volunteer this year working on our plans for the luncheon and for future events. You can donate a basket. Again, the number is on the screen. It's 856-466-9113. You can call that number, and you can even share how else you might think is a way that you can get involved. We're open to suggestions. Again, we are making sure the theme is Live Pink. We're making sure we keep the idea about being proactive and being involved with your community, and us actually connecting Stephanie's example to our personal experiences. And we want to make sure that we can reach as many people, touch as many people as we can. So we're open to suggestions as well.
And we do have an organization that's going to be coming to our Live Pink event this year. Axia?
Yeah, Axia, Women's Wellness Center. We're going to do more collaborations as we talk about making sure people are aware and being proactive and sharing information, literature. So we will have, so we're open to collaborations. If your school, your counselors would like to participate, your teachers, we are open to suggestions, and there's plenty of opportunity for people to participate.
So your event is July the 8th. It's a Saturday at Grove at Centerton. Are you going to be having any vendors where if people want to become vendors? Do you have vendors at your events?
So typically we do have vendors at our event. This year, though, we're going to do something a little bit different. So we're not going to have vendors in the traditional sense. What we decided to do with the one vendor that we have this year is to give that platform for education. And so they are going to pass out information rather than having someone there to sell different items and stuff like that, which we do typically do. But we decided to change it up a little bit this year. And like you were talking about earlier, just wanting to educate, because that's also a part of our mission, is to educate people about breast cancer and making sure that they're aware of the importance of, making sure that they're getting their yearly exams, that they're doing their self-checks, their self-exams. And I know that's scary, because sometimes you don't want to check for it, right? Because you're scared of what you might find or what you might feel. But it's very important. So we want to make sure that not only do people come to our events and have fun, but they do leave, educated as well, and knowing the importance of breast cancer awareness.
I think that's one of the problems. I know for myself. I watch how to do the exams and so forth. I just really don't know what I'm feeling for. And they say you just got to do it often and often and often and often. And then if something occurs, you'll know. It's called getting to know your own body. Because so many women find it difficult to do the self-exam and know exactly where or what they feel. They don't know because it's not, you already have natural lumps. We already have natural little, nodules in there that we feel. And so a lot of times women are like, I don't even know how to do it. So if you don't know how to do it, I'm not a doctor. Neither are these young ladies with me. We must say that first. We are not doctors. However, I am a big advocate of Google. Google. So if you don't know how to do it, Google how to do a self-breast exam. I guarantee you'll see how to do it there. And then 2, make that annual appointment. Be proactive. Let's not wait for a pain. When I was 30, I want to say 33, 34 years old, I started having issues, with my cycle. And I was like, something's not right. Something's not right. I ended up having 4 surgeries before they finally gave me a total hysterectomy. I had cancer cells on my uterus and on my cervix, so I had to have it totally removed. But if I hadn't known something was wrong, so I had 3 surgeries, and the 4th, they kept saying, oh, no, you don't need to get rid of the ovaries. You don't need to get rid of it. We'll just take the, the cervix, the uterus, da-da-da. And I was like, no, something is wrong. So they took the left side. They wanted to take just the left side for the 4th surgery. And I said, you know what? We're doing this whole thing because I was learning my body. Even though I was young, I was learning that something was wrong. And before the 4th surgery, when I knew something was wrong again, I went and I said, you know what? No, something's wrong. I didn't even go to my primary care. I went straight to my gynecologist because I knew I knew it was something with that. So you need to know your body. You need to get those checks, those exams. And like I said, at the age of 36, I had to have a complete hysterectomy because I had cancer cells literally forming and growing on my uterus, my cervix, my ovaries, and they were basically just eating at it. And thank God it didn't spread. I didn't have to go through any aggressive chemo. I did have to take a small dosage of it, but it wasn't enough to put me into, loss of hair and stuff. It thinned and different things, but I wasn't, So when you talk about it, I understand it. I do. And it was scary. It's very scary. And you're going to be scared when you hear the word, the C word. But you have to hold strong. And thank God I had a nice unit. I had my sister, I had my mom, and was able to hold their hands, and they held my hand. And I was able to get through it without having to be like, oh my God. And it's not even in my family. I don't even have a family history.
That was the point I was going to bring up. I think you bring up a great point about not only knowing yourself, but also knowing your family history. Know if your aunts have gone through it. Find out. If you don't know, ask. Find out if if you don't already know, if your sisters have a history of any of these precursors, because all of us have cancer cells. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I will take the time to research and study some of these things, because if you don't know, find out.
Exactly.
And I've learned that I've always been one to know my body. So when something was different, I would know the difference, what's normal and what's not normal. And then finding a doctor or OBGYN that you're comfortable enough with asking those questions. When he or she's doing that self-examination, can you show me how to do it, or what am I looking for, or when should I actually do the examination? Because there are times when you shouldn't do it, that have to do with your cycle. And it's so important that we do those checks. And accountability. I think it's important, like even as doing this, we're making each other accountable about even having this discussion. Have these discussions so that, you can ask yourself, did you get your mammogram? Did you check this? Et cetera. So it is a team effort.
It is. So we're talking about scholarships, but it's so much more. The scholarship is just the end result. That's the end result of what you're trying to accomplish. We need women along that path, along that journey, to get checked. So really, as we honor the memory of Stephanie Brown, we also want to encourage women that might go through this, the sisterhood, the friends that are left behind. Like I always say, you leave that family behind, but your life is so much more than that bubble.
Absolutely.
It's almost like a bubble, Your life is so much more than that bubble. And you are part of that bubble. You're part of that outside that bubble that was affected. So I think the scholarship is great. I think the awareness is great. And, we really do need to continue to shine the light on breast cancer. And there's so much more that you can do. And this is happening right in our community. I get, the thing is, so many people don't even realize this is happening right here in Cumberland County. This is right here in Millville. This is right here in Vineland. This is right here in Port Norris. This is right here in, if you want to know the counties, Cumberland County, Marsh River Township, Leesburg. This is right here. These are women from our community, you ladies are, that are putting this awareness together. So if you're not doing anything and you're available July the 8th, please, we're at the Grove at Centerton. It's on a Saturday. It's from 10, doors open up at 10:30. The event begins at 11 to 3. And here we're going to have baskets. If you want to donate a basket for the raffles, please get in touch with any one of the coordinators. The email address is posted, StephanieBrownScholarshipFoundation.com, or you can call 856-466-9113. If you don't get anybody when you call, I'm sure there's a voicemail. You can leave a message. These ladies would love to have your help with donating and participating. How much are tickets?
$60.
Tickets are $60 per person.
And they can buy them online.
What does that include?
So it includes all of the activities for the day, so you can play The Price is Right live.
What can I win? Wait a minute. I'm sorry.
Oh, girl.
I like winning prizes.
Girl, let's talk.
Like, girl, let's talk about the prizes. I don't know if you. I love to win. And
Yes.
I've always been like, oh, I love to win. Yeah, I love to win. And when she says she's Eagles, I'm Cowboys, so I'm fine with that. I love the competition, the friendly competition, because it's like, I respect, and I put a little T on the end of that, respect Eagle fans. I really do, and I hope that they respect the Cowboy fans. But what can they win? I mean, I like to know what prizes I can win.
Okay, so I can't reveal what we're going to be doing this year because that's
car.
That's
away
the
a car.
surprise.
Price is Right always
So
gives
you have
away
to
a car.
come out to see that.
The Price is Right always gives away a car.
We give away big things.
But so last year we gave away jewelry, handbag,
appliances, vacation,
a cruise.
Wow! What? Wait a minute, girl. Let's talk.
Girl, let's talk. We did it right. And everyone, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
The turnout, the participation, the laughs. The ticket price also includes lunch.
Okay.
Of course, because it is a luncheon, so it includes your lunch. And like I said, those activities, it includes group picture, individual pictures that you can take with our backdrop.
Okay.
And our Live Pink, you get to walk the Live Pink carpet.
Okay.
And it's just a fun afternoon. It's a luncheon. You come out, get dressed.
These are some of the women on the foundation.
Yes.
That on the board. Your board, is that what?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the committee.
The committee.
And
okay.
I do want to say, too, this committee, when we started, it is actually minus one other person.
To breast cancer as well?
To breast cancer as well. Yes. Donna Bard.
Donna Bard, yes.
And she was a part of our committee from the beginning. And she passed away, was it last year?
I try not to count.
Yeah, it was recent. It was pretty recent that we lost her.
To breast cancer.
To breast cancer as well.
Okay.
So, but yes.
In our last event, we were able to celebrate her life as well. As we talked about, it's not only the person that passes from cancer, but the rest of the family has to deal with the loss. And then starting with the new normal, we were able to honor her brother, Pastor Dr. James A. Duncans, and his wife, and Donna's son. We were able, and it's interesting. You just never know how you're going to feel until you go through it. It's one of those things you don't know until you're in it. So I would encourage people just to be as supportive as possible, because it could be you.
It could be you.
It could be, or your
and
family.
If it's not you, it could be someone in your family, a family member, a loved one, a friend. And I think now I own my own business, but prior to that, when I worked in corporate, your coworkers, you'd be surprised the connections you make with coworkers. And when the diagnosis comes down, even with coworkers, you're like, oh my gosh, like you just hearing it is so heartbreaking and cringing. So with that being said, I have to say, like I said, in years past, I haven't had the opportunity to participate. However, I hope that you'll accept a $100 gift card from Everything Classy as one of your gifts to donate.
Thank you so
You're welcome.
much.
The Everything Classy gift card does not expire unless
please, we don't want that.
The Everything Classy gift card does not expire, so we will be donating a $100 gift card.
Awesome.
Hopefully,
Thank
you'll be able to auction that
you.
off with your basket.
Absolutely, we will.
And as well, I hope you you would take advantage of partnering with Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe to host an event as a fundraiser for you.
Awesome.
So hopefully we'll be able to come together on that. We are located at 230 North High Street here in Millville.
Okay.
So hopefully you'll be able to, we can come brainstorm together with some kind of event that'll help be a fundraiser towards your scholarship program.
Awesome.
We would love to do that. And
More
every
than
donation,
willing to do
Thank
that.
you.
every donation that I make, I usually make it in honor of my sister Monica.
Okay.
So it would be coming from, Everything Classy as well as Monica Milbourne. Okay. Because she was big on education.
Great. We definitely appreciate
please,
that.
we will definitely be
Thank
doing
you.
that with a partnership. So if you own a business, if you just want to, donate something, once again, please reach out to these young ladies. Let them know if you want to donate, participate. Whatever you'd like to do, you can gain more information at StephanieBrownScholarshipFoundation.com. If you're also interested in applying for the scholarship, you have until 12 midnight tonight. A GPA of 2.5, community involvement, and 1 extracurricular activity. As well, you can give them a call at 856-466-9113. We're just about out of time. We have like 5 minutes. What else do you want our viewers to know? We've covered so much. We've covered so much, Is there anything else that we didn't cover? Anything about Stephanie? I know, Stephanie has a legacy that she has left behind. And that's, one thing that I like to do on life is I'd like to hope and think that I'm going to leave a mark in this world. I'm going to leave my heart in the hearts of my loved ones. Hopefully when they hear my name and think of me like you do with Stephanie, that it'll bring joy. And you can think of those moments, her and I in a movie theater, So hopefully that's, give me one memory. How about that? One precious, fun memory, We want to go out with laughter. Give me one fun memory you have. Either one you can start. Take a minute if you need to think. You got 5. You got 1 minute, 5 minutes to give it. So any good memory that you can leave?
So I guess I'll start. This was pretty funny. So Stephanie was my matron of honor in my wedding, and she went with my mother and my aunt and I to pick out my wedding gown. And Stephanie did not have a sense of direction. So she literally dropped us off in front of the bridal shop, and she went to park the car. I picked out my wedding gown, picked it out, got paid for it, everything. Stephanie still wasn't back. So I was like, well, where did she go? She literally just had to go around the corner
and park
to park and then come inside. She got lost. So from that day forward, I just cracked on her, Steph, you're all right. You don't have a sense of direction. She's like, oh girl, be quiet. But we just kind of laughed and joked about it because the whole purpose was, of course, to come help me
pick your dress
and
to make sure of honor. The whole experience, the whole process.
Yeah. So.
And Makema?
I don't have anything funny to say. However, as you were talking about your closing remarks or things that we forgot to say, I just want to say it almost like in the spirit in which she kind of would have given it to me. Like I said, she always gave me something that I needed. I would, I'm thankful and I would honor those that have passed on from cancer. I want to encourage those that are fighters right now to keep fighting and have hope. And I would also like to acknowledge those that have survived cancer and have been healed. So that's a happy thought for me.
Yeah.
Survived, healed, still fighting and encouraging for another day. So that's my happy thought.
Well, I wanted to end with something like that, positive, because cancer is a negative, unfortunately, and it always leaves us with a negative, meaning minus one person or minus that person, which creates a negative, where there was 2, now there might be 1. So I wanted to leave some positive and some pleasantry behind because, you know what, we're here to live another day. And I truly believe, as hard as it may seem sometimes, I truly believe that God don't put no more on us than we can bear. And sometimes I have to stop and say, Lord, I think you have made a mistake.
You sure?
I think this is pretty heavy. And when I say, girl, let's talk, this has been a girl, let's talk moment. And I really appreciate you being my guest today. Makema, I hope I will have you back for your book. Makema is an author. Yes. You're on the board with the school board.
Well, I'm running for the school board again this year, 2023.
All right.
But I am on the Library Board of Trustees.
Okay. We are all making strides here, ladies. And Valerie, what can we expect from you? I mean, I know you just, you're busy with work.
Actually, yes. And I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to, let's talk on camera with what I was going to say. I am enjoying, though, my career right now in human resources. And, if you see me around or whatever, reach out to me because we are hiring at the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Reach out to me. But, it's just been great, Erica. I do want to say thank you.
Thank you.
For this opportunity. You did it willingly. When I was told that you were willing to do it, I was like, wow, that's great because you have this platform and you're willing to share it with us. So we appreciate it.
You're welcome. As soon as I heard, as soon as Carol Davis, you're not with us, but Carol. Thank you for the connection. Carol had seen me with her husband doing a show, and I told her when she called me, it was not even a hesitation. Anything, you're like a sister.
Yes.
So anything, that I can do to promote and help your platform, I'm more than glad to. I think that we have been blessed with this opportunity of time, and it would be remiss of me not to share it with those that can benefit from it. So we're not here for a political agenda. We're not here for our own personal gain. We are here for the community, and that's what this is. This is to enlighten and to make aware women and men in the community. Because like I said, breast cancer does not just affect women, it affects men as well. So until we meet again, I hope you've enjoyed this segment of Girl Let's Talk. And stay tuned for another exciting Girl Let's Talk. Thank you for joining us today. Have a great day.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.